Hello, and welcome to my working table. My name is Lisbeth, and I'm a Danish abstract mixed media artist who also likes to do other crafts like slow stitching and all kinds of things. This is part 3 in a small series on slow stitching a scroll. And I will put a link below in the description box. I will make a playlist for this project here. So when I left you the last video, I was making this piece here where I was sewing a piece of Tyvek down, and I think I ended there. But since then I have been doing this piece here. This is just a small piece of fabric I have based down with running stitches, and these two are two small circles, and they are made with blanket stitches going opposite ways, and some small sequins there, a piece from a lace, and again the same small sequences there, and just like eyelet stitches. So that's how far I have gone for now. So now I have to figure out what figure out what I want to do today. I have my little bowl here with some bits and bobs, and I think I want to use some of this fabric here, and I think I want to cut it into small squares, and let me see, something like this. And I want pieces where there is some gold on, because once in a while it is nice with some bling bling. Yeah, let me see how many I need. Don't want these ones, they can go up in the basket again, or the bowl. I think 5 perhaps would be enough. So I want them a little like this, I think, in the middle. Something like this. I think I will cut them a little more even, so they will be like more like squares. And then I have this piece of a very loosened weaved cheesecloth, and I think I have dyed it in walnut ink, and I think it looks nice here on this color. So I think this will be placed here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but something like this here. And then the rest I have just bunched up with a clamp. So yeah, but I think this would be what I will be working on today. I will cut these more squarish and be back. I think this looks nice, and the pieces are so small, so I can't put a pin in them, so I'll just dab a small piece of glue stick on them until I have sewn them down. Not too much, because it isn't nice to sew in glue, or put your needle through glue. So just to keep them down. you know, somebody would maybe say, oh, glue and fabric, but every trick to help yourself I use if I can. I have no religion about that. So I think they are sitting there like this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then I will find a thread I can see. What color can I use for this? I think I would just want to make some back stitches here to sew them down, and they don't have to be so visible. Yeah, I think this one is the one I will use. I will thread my needle and come on camera again. Now I'm ready to go, so I will just come up here and down and up again, like a running stitch. All these small threads are everywhere. What is it? There, it's gone now. Like this, and go back to the previous hole and up again. Like this. And don't put too, don't strengthen, or not strengthen, but don't pull too much in your thread, because then it will buckle, and it looks best if it's lying flat. And then I will turn it like this here, and I'll come up here. Oh, there's a knot here on the back. Let us fix that, if it is possible to fix. I don't think so. So let us see if we can drag it through anyway. Yeah, I could. And then I go back where I came up, like this. How annoying with that knot. You can hear it when I'm pulling it through. Up again. Whoop, the knot. And down. Like this. It is really some small fiddling I'm into here. There isn't much to hold on to. So, yeah. But we are going for the result. So we have to do what it takes. But you can see like this. I will do it all the way around and be back. So now I have been all the way around with the back stitches, and I will just turn it over and weave my end here inside the stitches here. So yeah, that is that. For now, like this. And I like the frayed edges of the fabric. You can see it here, like this. I will do the rest of them, and then I will have to figure out what to do more. onto the last stitch here and back, and I will just weave it around here on the back. That doesn't do so much here, and then they look like this, and I think I will fray some of the edges where they aren't so frayed. I think that looks quite nice. So now the next question is, what else would I like to embroider around them, or perhaps in them? And I have done some, not to do the same stitches that is on the scroll already. I think I will do some perhaps cross stitches. Yeah, I think I will give it a little thought. I have chosen this, the thinnest of my pearl cottons, and this color here. And I think I will do cross stitches on both sides here. And when I take the fabric in my hand like this and want to sew cross stitches, it's nearly impossible to have anything to hold on to. So I think it is easier for me. I can hold it like this here instead and do the stitching. So I think I will try that. So I will start. Perhaps there can be 2 there and 1 in the middle and 2 this way. I will see if I can manage that, or they become too big. Then you can always unravel them. And I will just do one at a time to see how it looks. Yeah, I'm going really close to the edge here, so perhaps a little smaller. I will go down here. Normally you would stitch there, but I will want to see how it looks, so I will do it like this instead. To see if I like it. Yeah, I think I do. Perhaps I can take another yarn and another color here in the space between them, and instead just do this here. There are so many options, and you have to make decisions all the time, and sometimes you take the wrong decision, and then you can pick it up and unravel it, or what it is called when it's stitching. But sometimes you also get good ideas when you're working and do things that you haven't thought of when you started, and that's where it gets exciting, I think. It is a quite big needle, this one. There's the other needle I was sewing around with. I can't thread with this thread here because it is too thick. So by holding my fabric like this, I'm not also sure that I'm not tighten the thread too much. So that is a good thing. So it doesn't curl up the fabric. Yeah, I think you can see what I am doing, and I will stitch the rest by myself and be back. So I'm down to the last stitch in this side of the piece, you can see here. So I think I will just stitch the last cross, and instead of doing it up from down and up, I will just turn it half around here and go the other way like this. For me it is easy, the easiest way to hold this small strip, but perhaps you have another way that is easy for you, so you just do that. There isn't any embroidery police coming after you. You can do whatever you like, and no one is going to look on your backside either. That was from the old black school, and I think it kills all creativity, I think it's called. That was a tough word. So as long as you don't tie your thread too much so your fabric buckles and it lies flat, you can do whatever you want to do. So like this. Yeah, now I'm running out of thread, so I will stitch all that way down and see what I can come up with next. So done with these cross stitches, and they are quite chunky and fill a lot on the small piece here, and yeah, I like it, and in a way I think this thread is perhaps too heavy on this small piece of fabric, but I have chosen to use it so other places here, so I think I will continue using that kind of thread here in this piece here. But I have taken my thinner thread, and then I will do rows of cross stitches in between here, and they will look not so chunky because of, yeah, the thread isn't that thick. So let us see how that looks, and I have taken another color also. To break it a little up. And I think I will do two, like here, and let me see if I can do two under the little square and two on the last section. How that looks. Yeah, I think that would be fine. dots, please, please, please. And the last one here in this row. So let us look how it is. Yeah, I think that is quite fine. I think I will do it all the way down here. Yeah. I want to talk a little about this piece. Those of you who follows me on Facebook and Instagram has seen this piece for a couple of days ago. And here I can't show you a before picture, and this is when I'm done picture. But you can find them on Facebook. And several has asked me, not how I do it, but how I decide what to stitch where on such a piece. And yeah, it is a little difficult to explain, because I don't know if you can see it here, but there are several kind of different neutral kind of fabrics that are stitched down with base stitching. And the edges were raw, and that was how it looked before I start the slow stitching. But if I could try to explain what I'm doing, is something like this. I look at the structure of the fabric, and I looked at when I have done this, for instance, this little piece here was a fabric with a chevron pattern in the fabric itself, and then I thought it was obvious to put stitches in that was following that pattern. So that was a decision I made that way. The other thing I think of when the first patches you sew on is the most difficult ones to decide what to do, because it's brand new and you have to get started. But as soon as you have done a couple of patches, then you can say, I have these seed stitches there, then I don't want seed stitches in that patch there. And then you can say, then I want these stitches because they are different from this one, and here I want this color, and then I chose that color. And this patch is the same as this patch here. Then I use two different color threads there. And yeah, it is all these kinds of thoughts I am having when I'm doing the piece. But I have also done some thinking before I start such a piece, because I have chosen only to use neutral color fabrics and only to use neutral color threads and some black to break it up, because then it would be not that interesting if there wasn't any contrasts somewhere. But I have also decided I would only use stitches that are basically a straight stitch, and then they are put together in different stitch patterns. So already I have decided 3 big things before I start. And in Denmark we have something called dogma rules. It started many years ago with some directors that were making movies, and they made a statement where they decided to film only with handheld cameras and natural light, and the actors were wearing their own clothes. And there was a lot of dogma rules, as we call them in Denmark. I know some people relate to the word dogma rules to some religious things, but it isn't here in Denmark. So I think to set yourself some rules before you start, then you know what you have to do. Then it isn't so difficult to get started. So set a few rules for yourself. Decide you want to do a rectangle piece. you only want to use, for instance, red colors. You only want to use these kind of stitches, and then you are already in your head ready to get started, and then look at the different things. And yeah, that was just what I want to say. And I also want to say, if anybody is interested in, we are doing a piece like, not the same, exactly the same, but a piece like that here on my channel, and perhaps you can sew along with me. Please let me know. I'm open to any suggestions in that area. So that was just what I want to say about how I start a piece and my thoughts about it, and the things about setting some rules for yourself. That is a great way to get working, and you can use it in all kinds of crafts, also when you're collaging and whatever you're doing. It is good with rules, because rules can be broken when you start to work. It isn't there isn't any police coming after you if you break your rules, but rules can get you started if you don't know what to do. But now I will be back to my scroll. Sorry about all my babbling about dogma rules, but it is something I feel a lot for, and I think it is important to know this, and I hope you understand what I mean, because I'm Danish, as you know, and I sometimes miss words to explain properly what it is I'm saying or meaning. So yeah, excuse that. But now back to this here. This is done, and it ended up like this, and I think it is quite nice. So now here I have this piece of cheesecloth, very loose weaved cheesecloth, and I have dyed it myself in walnut ink, and the ink is something I made last year from walnuts I found in the area here where I live. I'm sure some of the people who have trees in their front yards don't know I have been stealing their green walnuts, but many places people are just leaving them on the ground. So I don't think they mind. I have just taken an ordinary sewing thread, you know, the one you put in your sewing machine, so it will be so invisible as possible, and I'll just do the invisible bastings stitches here, and it is like a very small back stitch on the front and a long stitch on the back of the cloth, so you can't hardly see the, perhaps it makes a little dot if you look carefully, but yeah. But this is not for decoration, it's just to pin it down. So it won't slide around when I decide what to do. And I will take my pin out. So just one or two threads from the fabric back and up here with a long, you can see they are quite long on the back side. That is a nice way to pin something down. But I will do it all the way around. So it is based down, and then I can do something else. And then I found this small piece of lace fabric, and I think it would look nice if I put a small piece of it there. So I will just have to remember that. But I will make it lie there, And this is, yeah, I will save that. But when looking at it here, it is quite incredible how much there is going on this small piece. We can discuss if it is pretty, but one thing I think it is, you get curious when you look at such a thing here, and what is that, and what is that, and how is that done, and so it's interesting, perhaps not pretty, but yeah. Then this here, I have so many things from a long life, and saving things. So it is just to go in my drawers and in my boxes and find things. But as you know, some of you know, I had a knitting career a couple of years ago, and this is an old knitting yarn, and it is quite exciting. And I think I would put a piece down here of this in the middle and couch it down. It is. I haven't done any couching here on this piece, so perhaps it is time for that now. I can't quite decide if I want one or two of them on. If two is too much, yeah, I think it is. I think one is, oh sorry, that one is enough. I also have this color, but I think I would use this one and find a lighter color so you can see, and a heavy thread so you can see it. So something like this. Perhaps I can pin it down. Just until I'm going. Oops. Quite in the middle, I think I want it. It is curling a little up here. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's fine. And down here, like this. And what thread do I want to use? I don't think I want any of these, and this is too boring. I like the thicknesses of this, but I don't like the colors. I think I'm more into one of, perhaps this one. But of course I can, that was from that piece there. Perhaps I can make it double, then it would be more visible. I think I will thread my needle with a double thread of this one and start sewing. It isn't difficult to couch something down, and you can do it in many different ways, but you can decide if you want to go close to the string you are couching down, or you want to go a little further away, and I think I want to go a little further away, so the stitch will be bigger. Like this. Come down here. That isn't a difficult stitch, so I can remove my pin now. And I quite want this in the middle of the piece, so I will take my thumb and press it down for a little while here. You can also decide how close you want the stitches to be to each other. You can make them uneven in the length they are picking out from the thing you are counting down. Yeah, there are so many options, as I said earlier, and it can be hard to choose sometimes what to do. But I think you can see what I'm doing. So not to make a very long video, I will sew this out of camera and show you when I'm done. I have already given it a strip, not a strip, but a string here of back stitches, and I will do the same here on the top. And the way I can do it when you have such a small strip of cloth, it is I'm putting my hand here and holding it like this here, and then I go back in the previous hole, and I can come up here. And please, no knots where there ain't supposed to be any knots, like this. And again in the previous hole and up. That way you can keep the tension on your thread and be sure your fabric isn't being bumpy or boggly. Down there and up here. And it isn't so easy with all these loose frayed edges, threads hanging there, but like this. Yeah, I think you can see what I'm doing like this. I would do it all the way down. So done with that. It is quite dark compared to the rest of the scroll I have been sewing already, but I don't think I mind that. I'm tempted to put some French knot histopist, but I don't know if I will do that. But I know this piece is going to be sitting there, so I will put a needle in it here. So I can't remember, but I think I will stop for today. I will put some close-ups in the end of the video. So here it is, this piece here, this section here. I hope you find this video inspiring, and perhaps you would give it a try yourself and use some of all your bits and bobs and make a scroll. There will be a part 4, I can see, because there's still fabric left on the scroll. So I will continue with the part, yeah, I can't remember which number this was, but I will continue next week. But if you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up and consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful of you, and I would appreciate it a lot. So take care, be creative, until next time. Bye bye for now.